that? You mean just lie? You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Life don't take fucking hurt. What was it even worth? The energy you drain from me. I guess you're not to blame. It's just a goddamn shame. All the things you tend to say. And you already know that I can't just let it go. Just 'cause you say so. I always need the last word. I always need the last laugh. So what have we learned today? Not shit from you anywhere. Your lack of empathy, it fucking sickens me. Cool being an edgelord clown, getting up and breaking people down. And you already know that I can't just let it go. Just 'cause you say so. I always need the last word. I always need the last laugh. I was happy getting high in the basement of an old brick house in Burns Park. Pissed off and isolated, we turned the lights off and played along in the dark. So you're cashed in on the character, safety pins and sabotage. And we bought all your counterfeit anger while you were driving sports cars, doing nothing for the cause. So spike your hair and roll your jean cups, put on your tux and black leather jacket, shout and sing and you're an anarchist, but you're full of shit and you know it. Does your past catch up and make you choke when you get a good look at yourself? 'Cause you were telling racist jokes. We kept the lights off and sang along in the dark. So dye your hair and put your black pants on. Shout rock the man, but you are the man. Sing your 72 hooker song, but you're fucking wrong. The real great rock and roll swindle. The real great rock and roll swindle. Our heroes laughing all the way to their $1,000,000 homes. Fall back down with no control. We're gonna ride the wave of the status quo.
Howdy. Okay, there we go. I got sound now. Hello, welcome to the stream, everybody. Yeah, so I guess this is like a regular thing now. I'm streaming on Fridays. It's like the fifth Friday in a row, I think, or fourth Friday in a row where I've done a live stream. I think I've been alternating too, because I think last Friday I was playing video games. The Friday before that I was writing music. The Friday before that I was playing video games. That being said, if you did not know, I am streaming twice a week over on Twitch, and that's always a dope time, both at 6 p.m., which coincidentally today is also at 6 p.m. Yeah, so if that's something you're into, on Sundays I play video games. It's always a good time. And on Wednesdays I write music. So what I'm about to do on this stream is very similar to what I do on Wednesdays. I'm not going to be doing like the live songwriting, especially working on covers, too much over here on YouTube. So if this is something you're interested in, yeah, twitch.tv/Scott2Network. Also, I have consistent branding, so all my social medias are Scott2 Network. Yeah, something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, Thursday of next week over here on the Scott2 Network YouTube, there's going to be a live stream event to celebrate the record release for The Best of the Worst, which is a dope band, a lot of history with me in that band. They actually played in my backyard in high school. I put on a house show, and they needed somewhere to play on that day, so they played in my backyard. It was really dope. And let me see if I can copy and paste the link in the chat for that. You can like set a reminder so you don't forget. Yeah, so here it is. The Best of the Worst live stream. What am I working on? That's for the chat to try to figure out, though. I don't know if it's gonna be like anything in the song that can make it. If someone can figure it out, that'd be super dope. I always love playing that challenge, see if people can figure out. And I don't think you can see the name of I didn't even name the project yet, so you definitely cannot see the name of the song. I might have to play the song at some point, so you might hear it there, because this song is requested via Patreon, which if you did not know, you can request songs on Patreon. And yeah, it's just hard for me to like do songs completely by memory if I'm not super familiar with them. So I've known the song before, but I already did a little bit of the beginning, which is mostly just hi-hat stuff. Yeah, before I go live, I saw a few questions before. It's Saturday here in Sweden. Heck yeah, I'm assuming it's like 1 a.m. in Sweden right now. Or maybe 2 a.m. I feel like Sweden's a little... I have a bunch of friends that live like in the UK and in like or across Europe. So I'm pretty good at knowing that time difference. But like I had a really good friend that lived in Belgium, and they were always 8 hours ahead of me. So I always kind of can gauge, roughly off of that, because I know for a fact that Belgium's 8 hours ahead of me. What's it called? How do I write drum notations in Sibelius 7? I have no idea, because I've only used Sibelius like 3 times in my life. Greetings from Chile. Greetings from Gainesville, Florida. I believe Chile is in the same time zone as Florida, if I'm not mistaken, because, South America is actually like not directly south of North America. I remember hearing that, and I'm like, dang, I never realized that. But like the west coast of South America is in line with the east coast of North America. It's midnight. Yeah, so I was pretty close. Here in Germany, it's 12 o'clock. Heck yeah. So I believe y'all are in the same time zone. All right, cool. Let's get to writing some drums. So I have my guitar behind me that I've connected. There we go. It's going through those speakers. My interface is hot. Why is it so loud? Okay. Let me know if that volume is good, if anything needs to be turned up or whatever. Let me open up OBS real quick. My interface, I don't remember messing with the gain, but the settings are all off, so I just don't want like anything to be super, super loud. Hello from Detroit. Detroit, that's where my band Where the Union is from, funny enough. Now we live all over the place. to do with that is... Oh God. Okay, cool. That's not actually going to be snare there. I just can't hit the same key that quickly, so I always just move the MIDI around. All right. So let's see here. Why am I being yeeted across this MIDI map? All right. What was the question I was going to answer that I just saw? Have you ever had a slump in playing music? If so, how did you overcome it? I've never really had a slump of playing music. I've been in a slump of playing music now, honestly, but that slump is kind of more coming from like, well, one, we're in a pandemic, and that's kind of something that's like not escapable, you know, like out of our control. There's only so much we can do as like, you know, people doing that, as long as, you know, society exists the way it is in America. But yeah, I think that has been kind of just like, I've been in a slump lately. I want to work more on my not ska music, which I have been, and it's been better as of lately. But a good way what's it called? What song is this for? That's for y'all to figure out as I work on it. See if anyone can guess it. What's it called? Yeah, as like basically I just try to like do projects that I've always wanted to do and prioritize those. Sometimes I try to do things like new, like the original idea on how I had to tackle this cover was completely different, and now I want to try to do something different. And that's like a cool way. Like I try to do stuff, you know, like keep myself engaged in music when I'm like getting to that point where I'm just like in a slump, as you said. Yeah, that's like the best way I can think of it. Love your music. Just want to thank you for introducing me to so many bands I would have never heard of you if you had not covered them, like Modern Baseball and 100 Gex. This old NB ska dork thanks you. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's what I love. I love to see that people are like listening to the bands that I'm covering. Because there's definitely like not a lot of people covering a lot of the stuff that I'm covering, just in general, especially in ska. And there's like so many good bands to be listening to. So I'm glad people listen. Cheers from Soul Cow. Heck yeah. Oh God. Hold on. Let me just like. Where are you? Okay. So let's move that over to the downbeat. What software to use for recording, mixing, and whatnot? This is Logic Pro 10 or Logic Pro X. I've heard people pronounce it both ways. I'm pretty sure it's 10 or X, regardless. Yeah, I use Logic Pro. Alright, so let me start this again from the beginning, because I already forget where everything is. Give me one. Oh God. We're just gonna move this over one. do is copy that and move this over, and so what do you think of the new Goldfinger album? I mean, like, I'm like indifferent about it or whatever. I think like, I mean, the songs are like, they're catchy, but I don't know. It's just not like investing, you know? Like, it's kind of just boring to me. When I'm listening to music, I just really don't like care to I don't know. To me, it sounds like a millionaire who lives in SoCal, who really doesn't have many worries, wrote a record, and I don't know. I just don't really have any interest to be listening to a record like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff on it. One of my good friends, like recorded all the guitar and worked on the mixing and stuff like that. Or two of my friends worked on like that record's production and stuff like that. But overall, I'm just like, I don't know, bands like that just don't really like do much for me now, especially like later music. Not just listening to bands you cover, but doing research about the political and societal issues you bring up. Thanks for being a resource for important topics. Again, thank you for listening. You know, it's very easy to like, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people, if you follow me, you probably see it. There's a lot of people who like, when they hear something that makes them uncomfortable, they just shut everything off, you know, and like, you know, like that, like what they don't know is like the choices that they make, the people that they support, the things they say, like hurt people, you know, and like causes damage in like our, like, not only like in the world in general, but in our scene, and in our scenes of music. And it really sucks trying to have like an inclusive scene and having people who are causing harm in those same scenes. So it's dope to know that there are people who also say things like that they're learning and growing and you know, like learning more, and it makes me feel good that I'm able to provide that for people. So hold on, I just need to listen to the original real quick because I can't remember the idea I had. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Where is this cable going? I wish there was an easier way to do this. All right. I am not going to play the original where y'all can hear it, mainly because I'll lose monetization. Oh, the monetization will go towards them if I do it. So on this video, because all the songs I have rights over that I use in the intro. So. Hold on, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I remember. Now I hear why I was having issues with that. There we go. Fresh Fruit Baby, Can't Stop Listening. It's such a good song. We straight up wrote a banger with that one. We really did. If anyone has not listened to the newest We Are the Union single, Fresh Fruit, it's a banger. 10 out of 10. It slaps so hard. Becca, howdy. Finally made it to one of your live streams. Heck yeah. Yeah, if you didn't know, on Twitch, I stream every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. So if you ever want to catch a future stream, Twitch is very guaranteed. There's going to be a period probably in like April where I won't be streaming like bi-weekly on Twitch, but I'll probably do once a week or something like that for reasons. stream. Thank you so much. All right, let's just cut. 1, 2, and well, let's just try all that again. It's passable. Crack open a cold one while watching the stream. Heck yeah! Alright, and let's see if I can. Looks like someone, so there's that little notification there. That means someone followed me on Twitch. So thank you for the follow on Twitch if you were from this stream and went over to Twitch after I said that. Let's do a little fill there. Yo, what's up? Howdy. I'm chilling. Oh god, I lost the beat already. Alright. Sometimes the samples don't load and that's pretty close to the grid. It's a little off a little bit, mainly on the second note of the kicks, but those are landing pretty close. All right, close enough to quantize. And move this one down. if you could describe your mood today as an ice cream flavor, what would you be? Oh, that's a good question. That's an interesting question. Probably like a lavender or something like that because I'm sleepy. This is a cozy and safe corner of the internet to be in. Heck yeah. That'll sound better once we finish the. The chorus does that twice. I'm glad I caught that. So yeah, there we go. Cool, and then it goes into the. I'm gonna listen to the bridge of this original real quick again because I forgot the idea that I had for that. I had a pretty cool idea for that. All right, hold on. Oh, haha. I should plug my headphones back in. Ugh. There we go. Nice. Hey, question. Is there what's it called? Hey, here's a question. In relation to Fresh Fruit, which punk bands do you stay true to the cause they claim to be part of? I mean, I feel like Anti-Flag does a lot of good work, you know, like, you know, they're a band that never really stays quiet, but at the end of the day, like, at the end of the day, it's really like, you know, it's not really like it's not really like a thing where there's like we're talking specific like order bands. It's not really like a thing where it's like, you know, there's like a line. Like I just think like, you know, our band's doing the work that they need to do to what's it called, to like, you know, unlearn their internalized racism, to help break down the systems that oppress marginalized groups and things like that. I recently actually was on a podcast, recorded a podcast yesterday. It should be out this coming week. I'm gonna announce that on my social medias, but it's with the Instagram and YouTube page Leaflets, which they're a dope page. I share a lot of their stuff. Oftentimes, whenever people come at me with some like ridiculous, like, you know, like rhetoric or something like that, wanting to argue about something, I'm just like, okay, you're clearly making arguments about things you don't understand. So like, here's a bunch of video references that talks about things like the prison industrial complex, about like, you know, like how capitalism inherently exploits people, things like that. And so like that's what that page is about. So they asked me to be on their podcast, which is super dope. But we kind of do spend about like 15 minutes going into like the punk rock like aspect of it, and like how like I was, because like I recently talked about that, like the release of that song, and they were like, so like what is like, so like how can you go a little more into like the whole punk rock thing? And like I was saying, it's like literally whether you're in punk or not, if you are like a white dude, pretty much you are benefiting from systems that inherently give you privilege, and that privilege is built off of systems that keep marginalized groups down. And it's kind of whack to have like musicians, especially like a lot of punk musicians, do so much and say so much about like having leftist ideology in their music, you know, like, you know, like fuck the system, and like, you know, like anarcho punk stuff, whatever, blah blah blah. But then they build a fortune benefiting off of like those messages, and they're not doing things to help really like break that stuff down. And I'm not talking about like a charity event. I'm talking about like at this point, especially if you have resources like that, like first off, spreading knowledge is very important. And not a lot of bands really do that in general. They don't really talk about all of the stuff their music is like built upon. They just kind of just say it. Like saying fuck the band doesn't do anything. It literally does not do anything. Like instead of saying that, just go volunteer in your local community and build infrastructure that keeps that'll help, like, you know, like marginalized groups not have to rely off of a system that is killing them, you know, like do stuff like that. And like a lot of these bands, especially like older punk bands, just don't do that or do anything really. They really don't do anything. Half of them have like, you know, like a bunch of them, too many of them, like drive like really expensive sports cars, and they live in $1 million homes in fucking like Laguna Beach in California. Like just stop preaching that you're punk. Just say you like the aesthetic of it. Like your fans probably won't care if you say that, and you'll still like, you know. So it's the fact that like, you know, as a scene, we collectively need to hold our idols, we shouldn't have idols, but like our idols and our, you know, these figures like more accountable and practicing what they preach, because most of them will preach one thing, but then, they won't really do much in return. That's like kind of like what that's about. But yeah, so like at the end of the day, it's like not many. It's like it's not even about like what bands are doing enough. It's like everyone should actively be doing things in general, like regardless if you're punk or not. You should actively be trying to unlearn like racism, that we're taught our whole lives, because racism is like, it's a system. It's not like an act. It's not like, this person's racist because they fucking like, called this person the N-word. It's like, no, racism is literally like a system that's embedded into this country. And it's like, you can't like opt out and not participate if you are contributing to systems that keep people, like gentrification, a great example. I know a lot of people who say they're not racist, but then they contribute to gentrification. If you're contributing to a system that's displacing black and brown people, you're contributing to the system of racism. Like, it's not ill-intentioned, but you have to accept and learn about the fact that your actions and who you support have consequences. Most of the time, those consequences don't even land on you. That's what privilege literally is. It's landing on other people, just like things like that. Like, like you want to start your own business. That's great and dandy. Obviously, you're not starting a business that's like directly hurting people, but like, like if you're, like selling a product, like is that product ethically sourced? Are you relying on sweatshop labor? That's racism. Like who, like when you're getting these things, like who's making those things? Are they being exploited for their labor? Like and somewhere down the line, it's like, especially if you're trying to make a profit, like you're probably using exploited labor. Most people don't even care to even learn about that. Like I spend a lot of time looking into where all my merch is made to make sure that exploited labor is not, like the cause and stuff like that. Because, and if I was using exploited labor, I'd have so much more money right now, but I don't care about making money like that. I just want to make money to get by. Sorry, I went on a little mini rant, tangent there, but yeah. I'm a POC from Oakland, California. I know all about gentrification. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that like that's something that we have to know about, and it shouldn't be happening. But yeah. Also, if you did not know, 20% of all of the profits made in the Scouts Network web store this month is going towards Led to Life, which actually is an organization. They do work around the nation, but they are based out of Oakland. And what they do is they basically will like hold ceremonies for people who have lost lives due to victims of gun violence, specifically like police gun violence. So like they'll hold ceremonies within communities, kind of like to honor those families and those who are lost. And then they literally like transform, like they are like blacksmiths. They literally will transform like old weapons into tools that sustain life, like shovels and things like that. And then they will offer and aid other organizations like mutual aid work and things like that, like building community gardens, like stuff like that. So they're a super dope organization. So you said Oakland, it reminded me. So that's where 20% of the money is going towards that organization. So if you buy any Scouts Network merch during the month of Black History Month, February, that's where that will be going. So that's super dope. Just want to throw that out there. Excuse me. Oh my lord, please, why are you not dragging down? All right. There you go. Literally only just tuned in. I have even more respect for you now. You should talk about how you choose to make your own, how you choose to make your merch and your beliefs and amazing, not just good music. Heck yeah. I mean, I do talk about that stuff a lot more. Like obviously, like there's not really space to talk about that much on like YouTube, but I do talk about it a lot on all of my other social medias, especially like Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that. So I don't know how tuned in you are on TikTok. Definitely on TikTok. TikTok is where I do most talking because that's the platform where you can casually post content as of right now. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I needed to look up how many times that chorus happens. So what I'm gonna do is. I'm mostly live on YouTube at the moment. Yeah, I mean YouTube is dope, but like I want to consider it like a social media. At the end of the day, which obviously like I do a lot of work through social media, and YouTube's great for people who are invested in following creators. But if the algorithm's not nice to you, YouTube can really suck, and it's definitely in general hard to reach people because like the community tab and stories and all that is very very not designed well here on YouTube. Um, yeah, let's do that. Rakun, rakun, kukun. Takun, takun. So let's go ahead and. Love your work. Thank you so much. All right, let's test out the structure of this song. Vocals and horns are definitely going to make this song pop more. I can already tell. right, cool. That sounds good to me. Now let's go ahead and create. Is this plane versus tanks? Nope, I already covered. Actually, that was my like cover I released. What, like 2 covers ago, 3 covers ago? One of my most recent covers is what I'm trying to say. Oh God. What am I trying to do? Here's what I'm trying to do. Let's see. Software instrument. 14, 13. I need to create 12. These are all going to be drum tracks. So let's go ahead. Yeah, make that into crashes. Come on, crashes. Yeah, let's do ride here. And hi-hat. That's what comes next. Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely not redoing it. Let's see, superior, rack tom, and you don't need to freeze every time I load a new thing, but I guess that's the move now. Let's see. Snare. Let's do kick. All right, cool. And let's go ahead and turn all this down. Ooh, someone else went and followed on Twitch. Thank you so much. Hi-hat. Ride and crash. Alright, and while this is playing, let's go ahead and actually, let's do this. Move all this down. There we go. Pick another kick. Snare. Figure out why that sounded like that for a second. Ride. Oh, that was quantized, I think, to the wrong. You're gonna take me to. It's supposed to be back here. There you go. Logic Pro. The drum plugin is both Superior Drummer and MT Power Kit 2 by Manda Audio, and they're stacked up, so there's like multiple drums you're hearing at once. And on top of that, I have more samples that are not samples you can buy. So, yeah. Also, like, the reason why there's all these tracks is because, like, it's mixed, you know, like a real it's mixed like a real drum set. So like obviously there's like, you know, I have like the kick isolated both for like the MT Power Kit kick drum and the Superior kick drum. I have them like EQ'd to how they sound best for each one. Same thing for like snare. I have like the 2 snares. I have like the EQs, compressor, and all that stuff. So that's like literally like why it sounds the way it does. And then I'm going to take all of these tracks, now that they're all separated. I'm going to send them to a channel. I add some reverb. A little bit more. Alright, and then I'll send that out to another one, and then I'll do my drum thing. Are you using multis in Logic, or each one is a single instant? Each one's its own. If you mean like running the plugin, each one's its own one, because every time I try doing the multi thing, it doesn't work. So I've just given up on even trying to do that. Yeah, it's like it's always like either they're all linked or just never the plugin never like loads into another channel whenever I do that. So, but yeah. All right, let's record some guitar. Let's open that up to a new track. Yep, the guitar is there. This guitar's been giving me major intonation issues, so we shall see. Well, that'll be tracked on the clean guitar track, so. Input 2, let's turn you down. Are those not quantized? Because I feel like they're not, but maybe they are. I feel like they rushed a little bit. God, MIDI, please, where is... There, here we go. They are not quantized. There we go. Either that or they got quantized up a 16th note, which also could have happened. I missed the downbeat. Do that again. And I just missed that punch. Let's repunch the first one, actually, because I didn't like that entrance either. And we can just... I love the sound on the guitar. Thanks! Me too. Yeah, I was on Facebook the other day, and I was in one of the ska groups. Someone had posted, like, looking for help building a guitar rig and like what gear they should get, and so many guitarists were commenting saying like, I don't care about my guitar tone, like I do what's easiest, I'll just run through the PA if I have to, or borrow gear. And I'm like, dang, ska bands typically are notorious for having really terrible guitar tones. And it really showed in that Facebook thread. There was only like maybe 3 or 4 guitarists out of like probably like 30 comments who actually gave like an in-depth, like, this is what I do, I stick to my gear, blah 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 blah. And like, I'm very much like a guitar tones person. Like, I will literally, like, if a band's guitar tones are like really not good, I just really don't want to listen to it, like, pretty much. And that, I feel like that's like a thing that gets really, like, obviously like emo doesn't really like neglect that stuff, but ska bands typically tend to neglect that, and I'm like, I don't know why. That stuff is so important. What's it called? Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into it, but everything's running through one input. There is no way around it. I explain this every stream, and I'm just kind of tired of explaining it. So the way the audio is the way the audio is. And there's no fixing that unless I get a third interface. I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, this program is Logic Pro, by the way. I don't know if anyone said it or if you heard it. What's it called? Could not care about. So that's what I'm saying. Like, oh my goodness. Like, literally, like, if a band's like guitar tones are not good, I just don't want to listen to the band. That stuff is so important, and it's like literally just like, it just takes a tiny bit of Okay, but I'm also, there's a reason why a lot of bands like, don't, grow a lot, and like they don't pay attention to like the little like things like that, like guitar tones is as important as things like, like like hiring a good artist to make a design for your band's merch. Like I know a lot of bands that refuse to pay an artist to do a good design. They'd rather just do it themselves or do something that's like obviously like a cheap Photoshop job. And I'm like, you're gonna get what you pay for. Same thing goes for like your guitar tones, or like even getting a good engineer for like your record. Like if you're not going to invest into a good engineer, your record's not gonna sound good. And like a lot of people, like for me, it's like I want my, if I'm gonna record a record, like I want everything to sound as good as possible. And people really do not care to do that, especially for like their own personal music. And to me that's like what's it called, a wild. I've noticed ska bass players care a little more about tone, but yeah, tone is definitely like, I feel like guitars in general get really really like overlooked. For me, what I'm trying to do is like, I basically am always trying to make ska music, but I want my guitar tones to sound like Midwest emo, because Midwest emo bands have such good guitar tone. Oh my goodness, I messed that up. Hold on. Militant guitar tones are so tight. Yeah, Militant has good guitar tones. It's not like what I would do like personally if I was what's it called? If I was making music, I wouldn't go for those tones, but they have good guitar tones for sure. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, let's double this guitar. I guess might as well. That's a lot of guitar to double. So let's pan you this way, and let's pan this one this way. I'm just gonna do all that again. I feel like my strumming pattern was slightly different. To be frank, I barely know what ska is, but I do like the stuff that you do and seeing people on their craft. I'm a welder fabricator by trade, so I love seeing how stuff is made. Heck yeah. Yeah, I mean, ska is a Afro-Caribbean, Jamaican born dance genre. Basically, the calypso pattern, which was like if you're listening to calypso music and this is the tempo, calypso pattern was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was kind of the calypso pattern. And then they basically took that pattern and Jamaica, because calypso is not Jamaican, it's just Trinidadian. It's a calypso, Caribbean type of music. And they took that pattern and instead of having it be on the downbeats, they moved it to the upbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like the difference. That's Jamaican mento, that rhythm, that rhythmic pattern. And then what happened in the 1950s, like late 50s, early 60s, is Jamaica started to mix the sound of the mento with like popular American music from the 1950s, like rock and roll and rhythm and blues and jazz and stuff like that to create like a very like unique like dance genre that had like the instrumentation and like typical song structure of like popular music of the Americas in like the 50s and early 60s with like that Caribbean like calypso mento pattern. And that's when you start to get like the ska sound, and then it gained popularity in what's that country called, the United Kingdom, in the 70s, and it mixed with like the proto-punk stuff that was going on there with like the new wave stuff, and then when it gained popularity in America, it mixed like popular like pop punk at the time, pop punk and pop rock and punk in general was mixed into that sound, and then so it's a very like vast genre, and that's not even going into the amount of ska that has come up in other countries like Mexico, Venezuela, China, like Chile, you know, like literally any country you can think of that has music, there is like probably ska being made there, mixing their own influences with it. So it's a huge genre, but it's all boiled down to like, you know, that fundamental rhythm of the, let me plug in 1 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's that rhythm, you know, like most genres. When you have a beat, you have like the kick. Let me load a better plugin than this one. You'll have like, they're all EQ'd. You'll have like the kick on 1 and the snare on 2. So you have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. With ska, they don't do that downbeat. What happens is you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll have the kick with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like the fundamental ska beat, is like any type of iteration of really like that beat, like emphasizing much more on the 2 and 4 and 3. Like typically the snare will hit on 3, and then on the ands, or on 2 and 4, and then on the ands you'll have like the hi-hat. That's what the rhythm, the fundamental rhythm that ska is built upon. What's it called? How did you learn to put together a full track in a DAW? I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know how to move forward. I mean, I don't know what DAW you're using. I just made tracks and kept layering things until it became something that was recognizable as a song. That's how I learned how to use Logic, but I can't really help you on any other DAW other than like make a new track and layer things on top and record to the stuff that you have. I'd love some videos with theory breakdowns like this. Well, I have 3 punk rock music theory videos out, and I have more scripted, but time is a thing that I have not had, and literally since the pandemic started, I really thought I'd have more time, and instead I had absolutely less time. But that whole thing, I have a video that's like Ish Streetlight Manifesto, a ska band, and I completely go I go into the depth of like the ska music in general, and like what makes like the roots of ska and how it's defined as a genre, and that all of that I talked about is in that video. I'm a bit lost. Could you possibly explain what standard what's it called, notation? I don't really know how to explain that in any other way like any other way I can think about explaining that will make it harder. I'm not entirely sure like what you mean by standard notation too, because I'm like, it's literally like if it's on the offbeat or if it's on the onbeat, you know, like if it's on beat 1 of the measure or not. Like that's like that's as watered down as I possibly can explain it. So I don't know how else you would like me to explain that, but keep forgetting about this fast tempo. Is that rhythm but tweaked onto? Is that rhythm but tweaked onto the simple, on the upbeat? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, you're not focusing on the downbeat. You're focusing on the upbeat. Oh yeah, that's right. It cuts out there. Nice. All right, I think I can copy and paste this rest of the song, except for the breakdown part. Let's go ahead and copy that. Now let's undo divide. All right, and so 16th rest, then 3/16. Yep, you're just literally moving over the rhythm by 1/16 note. So instead of it being on one E and, it's on rest E and. Literally, that's the only difference between the calypso and the minto pattern. The absolute only difference. I feel like just in general with music theory, because there's something I always noticed in school, is that people often overthink music theory way more than they need to, especially when it comes to explaining things. Like, I remember people would always get really confused about like how like the number system works and things, and I'm just like, literally, like, if you're playing a scale, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1 again, and then you keep building up if you're building a chord. So if like 1, 3, 5, it'll be 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. People would always be really confused by that, and they'd be like, and then I've noticed they'd always be like, okay, but what if this? And I'm like, stop asking what if. That's how it is. Just, you don't have to ask what if. I feel like the asking what if is why you're getting confused, because you keep like overthinking it, of like, it is this, but what if in music this, it's like music's not like random. It's like literally like it follows a set of rules, and those rules are always there, like, and like, it's the same thing. It's like, like if you do a 5-1, it'll always resolve. 5-1 will always resolve, regardless which key you're in. Same thing, like if you start on one note, if you go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you go up 5 half steps, you'll get the resolution to that. If you're playing a dominant chord, play a dominant chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will resolve. If you're playing it here, the dominant chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same pattern regardless where you're at. Like, everything is exactly the same. Just which key you're in is like the difference. At least for like chords, things like, obviously like major chords, minor chords, stuff like that. So, and I feel like that's like where people get confused. I feel like people think when they're first learning music theory is that everything is like different for every key, and it's like, it's literally not. If you understand the patterns of how chords work in one key, you'll learn how they work in every key. And music theory is a lot easier in that aspect than people people should just practice every scale for every note before they start wondering about if it makes sense. I mean, yeah, that's also important, like learning like your scales and stuff like that. In general. Oh, I got a follower on another follower on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. If you're on Twitch or if you were here and then you went on to Twitch to click that follow button. Yeah, learning your skills is definitely important in general, but also like I don't know, there's like people who don't play music that study music theory too, you know, like there are people who like, you know, like percussionists, you know, like they don't play depending on what type of percussionist. If you're playing like marimba or something like that, then yeah, you should probably know theory. But like there are percussionists that, you know, don't play pitched instruments that still like have to learn theory. And I know a lot of people who like are percussionists or they never played music in general who like learn theory pretty quickly. But I think it's because it's because since they don't play an instrument, they don't ask a million questions. So like when they're taught a concept, they're like, okay, cool, that's the concept, next, you know, like and that's like also like a thing because like I'm a teacher and I teach students like especially like marching band, and we'll bring something up and like students will always ask us so many questions. We're like, just stop asking questions. Your questions are confusing you. Just do what we're saying and everything will make sense, I promise. But you have to start by just doing what we say. And the students who literally just don't ask questions are the ones who succeed the most. And the ones who keep asking questions, it's like them asking questions, one, makes them miss more information that is important because they're too busy thinking about their question that will probably be answered. Or two, they're so wrapped up in the possibility that is their question, they're ignoring the answer to their own question, you know? Like, you know, it's like it's like if you tell someone 1 + 1 equals 2, and then you start to explain how addition works, and they're like, but 2 + 2 = 5, right? And like you keep trying to tell them 2 + 2 = 4, but they're too wrapped up in their own mind being like, no, 2 + 2 = 5. I don't get it. Why doesn't it make sense? You know, like that's like kind of what I've noticed when it comes, especially like to teaching like music. It's like just literally stop asking questions, and you'll probably learn more in general. Oh, I need to track this whole outro because the drumming pattern's different. Ah, that is off. That is off by a eighth note. Hoi! All right, cool. I started by producing beats, so musically it came from sampling and trying that stuff out. I mean, like when it comes to like sampling, you still kind of have to have an ear for like what works, and like at the end of the day, that's theory, you know. Like you can take a part of a song and like, you know, the sample could just be like, and then like you're looping that, and then you're like you keep that loop going in the sample, and then you find another part of the song that samples like a. That could be like your song. So like yeah, you're sampling and you're not really like playing the music, but at the end of the day your ear is still hearing like that 4/3. Like there's a musically a reason why that sounds so like, you know, calming versus like that gives you a strong resolution like in your ear. So even though you're not like playing music, there's still theory behind the reason why like this sounds, you know, like has a resolution. It sounds complete. You know, same thing if I play a scale. And like your brain wants you to resolve it, you know? That's called that same sense of resolution. That yes, it's finally finished. It's finally complete. That's the same as doing the 5. It's 5 to 1. So yeah, even if you're producing music in any way, music theory is the reason why it sounds the way it does. Like then that's like unless there's like no harmonic aspect, which also like rhythm is also music theory. So there's no way of like producing music without having theory be involved, you know? And even if it's not even like Western theory, because as long as there's some sort of scalular pattern, even atonal music that doesn't follow a scale or any sort of harmony still has theory behind why it works and what makes something atonal. So like theory definitely is like it is, yes, exactly what you said. I'd say theory is a math, and history is how stuff feels instinctually. Like yes, instincts, but it is math. It definitely is. At the end of the day, it's math. Like they discovered fire, like humans discovered fire, but they didn't understand why things burned, like the science behind it, what's happening with the chemical reactions. We didn't understand that till like way down the line. So like, like that's what music theory is for people who don't know the theory but can make music. It's like you're able to create fire, but then what's it called? But then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but then you learn about the chemical process behind it, and then obviously if you know how science works, you could probably create a fire a lot easier, or aid your knowledge of science to make your fire bigger or whatever you want. And that's kind of like with music theory, what that does. I'm not one of those music theory haters. People are just never stuck with it. Yeah, I mean, definitely it's also like the way it's taught too. Like I learned way more from like YouTube channels like 8-Bit Music Theory than I did taking music classes in school for 6 years. So like definitely a lot of it is like how it's being taught too. And academically, like it's a fucking mess. Way off topic, but thoughts on slap bass and putting it into ska. I'm not like really that big of a fan of slap bass in general, so like I have no drive to ever really put it in ska. And I think it just stylistically would kind of be jarring to hear. But I mean, any band can do whatever they want. That's just not really something that I would do, personally. We'll have it in like that. All right, let's punch in this. Some people can throw a baseball fast, but some can only throw it fast when they understand the right movement of their arm. Yep, that's exactly how it is. I would listen to slap bass on football. That's so funny. Let's retract that because I feel like that's going to drive my engineer bonkers. Let's do the breakdown now. Oh my God, please stop. Jesus Christ. All right. And let's... Let's delete these little rascals. All right, and use the bathroom, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a little be right back screen and go use the bathroom and then come back. So yeah, be right back.
Expatriate. I'm a pre-expatriate. Whoa, too tired to explain. Living in society means common goals and give and take, not just take. Pre-expatriate. I'm a pre-expatriate. Alright, cool. I am back. Yes, flat base sparingly is definitely important. Yeah, it's important to use it sparingly. I feel like that's the problem. Typically, like, I obviously don't, like, despise it. Like, I hate slap bass. But, like, definitely a lot of times I hear it, and I'm like, this is not the time or place to be using it. Like, sometimes I daydream about moving to some small island nation with no taxes. God, that'd be so dope. To live, I long for living in a world where we don't have to deal with any of this bull that we normally deal with. So we got that. The clean is probably
just happened? Oh, Jesus. Why is everything so big? What did I just do? Alright. Okay. Okay, we're kind of back to a regular size now. project? I will when I'm done recording this. Let's see. I started using Logic in 2016. A little bit, like maybe late. Was it late 2015? No, it was 2016. Definitely 2016. And I did not use any DAWs before this. Like I've used FL Studio a tiny bit, and the life of me could not figure it out. I don't know. I'm probably because I studied music and I'm like I was in band and like I read sheet music and stuff like that. Any DAW that doesn't have a timeline view like this, where like I see measure 91, 92, like here's the beats right here, the next measure, here are the beat. Like if it's not laid out like that, I cannot write music like that. It does not make sense to me how people like that's why I remember like using Ableton once too, and I was like, this makes no sense to me. So yeah. I've only really like used Logic. Punch him on beats right there. When doing ska covers, do you do arrangements, something in music? Nope, I don't do any of that. God, that would literally slow me down so much. Typically just figure out the parts like either on the spot when I'm recording. Like I'll obviously like have it in my mind like what I'm gonna play, but like just give me the key and I'll figure out the melody of the song, or just give me the chords. And like I don't like, to me, like why would I notate everything to then re-notate all the drums, and then why would I like write things out when I just don't have to, you know? Let's go ahead and give this a listen down while I hook up my bass. Before I do that though, I forgot to do that at the beginning. So before I forget, let's try this again. I'll give you a little smoother. Let's move you up here. That's the bass track you're on. Let's cut you right up. A little too early. Let's cut you right there. All right. Baseline. Hold on. I said at the beginning of the stream. Oh God, I said this at the beginning of the stream, but put my guitar over here. This is a requested song, so I'm not super familiar with the song. So what I'm going to do is listen to the original real quick, and figure it out. Oh God. No, there is no bass line. Really, it's just like cool notes. So, let's see what I can work with. Definitely do not have perfect pitch. I've never even heard of true pitch, so I don't know what that is. I just have relative pitch. But I mean, you don't need perfect pitch when you're figuring out songs. All you need to do is find the key of the song, and when you find the key, typically things follow, patterns and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty easy to recognize when, like, a 4 is resolving to a 3, or if it's like a 5th or things like that. So I'm using OBS to stream. That's for anyone to figure out in the chat. I don't reveal what songs I'm covering on the streams. I always want to see if someone can figure it out. I'm just gonna play through the song again and mess around, see what I can come up with. motif I want to mess around with. I'm just going to track this a few more times and see what else I can come up with. Thank you so much. I'm glad. Even though like most of the life of this song is going to come from the vocals, song's pretty repetitive. And vocals, I'm going to add like lead stuff and some synths and stuff like that. I'm going to get creative with this one, but... For example, if I heard a B flat and I could play bass in my head and know a B flat by playing the first fret, second string, in my head. I mean, I that's definitely not what I have, because I can figure things out by, like, what's it called? I mean, I don't know. That sounds like super weird. Like, I can't do that with, like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. All right, let's try again from the beginning. Oh, hey. Let's try this again. Let's try that. Let's try that again. Try it right. So let's start from the chorus. I'm not like a pick bass player, so that's for the chat to figure out what the song is called. I'm just gonna not use a pick for this part. 404. Actually, it's in 1128. Because, you know, if you count it. That TikTok debate on if Hey Ya, what time signature Hey Ya is in, is the most aggravating. Versus. I like playing and moving around, but when it comes to like recording, I really don't care. I'm probably sitting because I'm not gonna stand for 3 hours and record. You know, I already do that when I record horns. Like horns, I cannot play while sitting down. At least like not recording, not like this type of music at least. Space Time. Thank you. Thank you very much. This again. I feel like I keep turning this damn gain down and the bass keeps getting louder. That's punching right Nice. Finally got through it. All right. Let's clean up all those punches I did. Why does my bass sound so bad? Tight. Rhythms are done for this one. It is not an emo song that I am covering. It's actually a pop song. What's it called? What's my drum EQ looking like? I'm not gonna go like super deep into it because it's just a lot. But I mean, I just shave off a little bit of the frequencies that are that you don't need. Everything's also like separated, so like I have like my crash is as I have all the MIDI basically tripled, and on top of being tripled, the Superior Drum plugin has multiple snare samples and stuff like that on it. So there's like that, but like, you know, obviously like for snare, I have like, you know, frequencies that sound good boosted a little more, the frequencies that sound bad cut out a little bit more. Same thing for like the MT Power Kit snare and the kick, floor tom, and all like that. I don't really do much aside from a tiny bit of compression. Not that much. I don't like compressing the shit out of drums in general. And it's literally just that and EQ. There's not much going on. But yeah, most of it is because like I'm able to like, you know, like isolate the kick. You know, like there's the Superior Drum Kit, and then there's the MT Power Kit like kick. And just because I'm able to like isolate it, and like that's with nothing, with compression, and then like the virtual mix chain, that's like digital plugin and everything like that, and compression and shit like that, where I'm able to actually make it like, you know, sound a lot better and more full. And then I stack it up so that way you can get kind of like the best of both worlds. Same thing goes for like snare. I have the 2 snare plugins running. Once the song is done, I'm done recording and I do a final mix down, I kind of mess around with the drums more. But for now, I just kind of have everything kind of generally floating around where it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and pretty much done with this stream, actually. I'm very hungry. I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner and then go smash said dinner that I have to figure out what I'm going to eat. I also have to go back. What time does Guitar Center close? Because I have to go back to Guitar Center. That's something I've been meaning to do, and I'm literally not awake until 2 every day. I'm awake before 2, but I'm not a functional human being before 2. So Guitar Center typically closes before I'm done working for the day. They close at 9. It's 8:24. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm going to Guitar Center, and then I'm gonna go get dinner. So heck yeah. Thanks y'all once again. On Thursday, this coming Thursday, as in 6 days from now, you can already, I linked it earlier in the chat. I might as well link it again now. You can RSVP, set a reminder for, oh, nope, I just pasted a bunch of MIDI information. Let me scroll up and get the link. Set a reminder for the, open link in new tab, I guess. Oh, open link in new window? There we go. For the, something went wrong. Okay. Oh, why is it opening that? All right. Let me try this again. I don't know why. It's being weird, I think, because it's in the chat. Let me copy the link again. Best of the Worst record release like event is happening on this channel on Thursday night at 9 p.m. So you can go ahead and set a reminder. There we go. Set a reminder so that way when it does go live, you'll get the little, I don't know exactly how it works. I'm assuming it's a notification, but it's going to be dope. And Best of the Worst is a dope band. Homies off of Bad Time Records. If you're not following Bad Time Records, you got to go ahead and do that. Jer, my project, is on Bad Time Records as well. And I Twitch stream on Wednesdays and on Sundays at 6 p.m. So I've been doing almost every Friday here, so that's fun. But anyway, enough talking. I need to get to Guitar Center. Bye. Wait, how do I end this? Bye.